I'm a 27-year-old woman with a younger sister, Leela, 24, who's 7 months pregnant with her first child. We've usually gotten along okay as sisters, though we're quite different. I'm more self-reliant and pragmatic, while Leela has always been a bit pampered by our parents. As kids, I was the dependable older sibling, and she was the youngest, often getting her way by complaining. This led to many arguments when we were younger, but I thought we'd outgrown that dynamic as adults. For background, I own a 2011 Toyota Corolla that I cherish. I purchased it second-hand after college and worked diligently to pay it off. It may not be luxurious, but I've maintained it meticulously, so it's dependable, secure, and fully paid for, which is crucial since I'm currently working part-time. I lost my full-time job last year and am job hunting, so finances are tight. Not having a car payment is a huge relief. I rely on my car for job interviews, errands, and daily needs. While I don't have a long commute now, that doesn't mean I can go without a vehicle. I value having my own transportation for emergencies or spontaneous plans. Leela, meanwhile, drives an old, worn-out Chevy our dad gave her years ago. It's a 2003 model and barely functional. She's not diligent about upkeep, so it frequently breaks down. I've buylaid her out a few times, driving her when she was stuck or letting her use my roadside assistance to tow her car. She constantly complains about her car's condition, and our parents keep paying for repairs. I sympathize, especially since she's pregnant. No one wants to be stranded at 7 months pregnant. But her car's issues have been known for ages. It's not my fault. Leela and her husband are saving for a better car, but with a baby coming and medical expenses, they're also strapped for cash. I understand their situation, but being single and childless doesn't mean I'm wealthy. I'm living frugally, too. A few weeks ago, at a family dinner at my parents' place, Leela's car troubles came up again. She was venting about her latest repair bill when she suddenly said to me, "You could just give me your car." I laughed, assuming it was a joke, and said, "No way, my car's not up for grabs." But she was serious. She argued that pregnant women shouldn't drive unreliable cars and that my Corolla would be ideal for her doctor visits and eventually transporting the baby. I firmly said no, explaining that I need my car and won't give it away. Leela got upset and our mom chimed in saying, "You barely drive anymore, dear. You're part-time and only run a few errands. Leela needs it more right now." I countered that it's my car, which I paid for, and we can't just reassign vehicles based on who claims greater need. I stressed that even without a daily commute, I still need transportation. Then Leela's husband, who was there, suggested I reconsider for the baby's sake. He even offered to let me use Leela's clunker if I needed a car, which I found laughable. I reiterated, "No, I'm sorry about your car issues, but I'm not giving mine up." Leela burst into tears, saying I couldn't understand how terrifying it is to be pregnant and drive an unsafe car. She sobbed, "If you cared about your niece, you'd want me to have a reliable vehicle for her. She's having a girl." That guilt trip infuriated me. I said, "Your baby's safety is your responsibility. I'll drive you or lend my car in a pinch, but I'm not handing it over permanently." That sparked an uproar. Mom called me self-centered, pointing out that I'm single with no kids, while Leela is starting a family and needs help. Dad stayed mostly silent but clearly sided with them, giving me disapproving looks. I argued, "Helping is one thing, but you're asking me to surrender my car. That's unreasonable. You're acting like I should pause my life because she's having a baby. I'm not doing that." Dinner ended on a sour note, with everyone glaring at me like I'd committed a crime. I left feeling slightly guilty, as they almost convinced me I was a bad sister, but I knew their demand was absurd. I confided in a friend later, and she reassured me I wasn't wrong. I thought the argument would fade, but I was mistaken. Last week, I was jolted awake on Saturday morning by the sound of a truck engine and metal clanking outside. I looked out and saw my dad's truck in my driveway with a car trailer attached. My stomach dropped. I threw on clothes and rushed outside, heart racing. They were my parents, with Dad hooking my Corolla to the trailer. They froze when I came charging out, yelling, "What are you doing?" Mom approached me, hands raised like I was a wild animal, saying, "Honey, please, just hear us out." I was already calling 911, shouting that if they didn't unhook my car, I'd report a theft. Dad said, "No need for that. We're family. We can sort this out." I ignored him and started pulling at the straps they'd attached to my car's front wheels, struggling to free it. Dad backed off, saying, "Calm down. We thought this would be simpler." Leela, standing near the mailbox, snapped, "We knew you'd refuse, so we tried to do it quietly. Why are you so dramatic?" "I need this car." I exploded, yelling, "Because it's my car, you're trying to steal it. What's wrong with you?" I demanded Dad move the truck and trailer or I'd tell the police everything. Mom kept pleading, saying they thought taking it early would let us discuss it later when I was calmer. That enraged me more. They planned to steal it and present it as a done deal. Dad finally gave up, grumbling that I was unreasonable and went to move the truck. Their plan had failed, but Leela wasn't done. She got in my face as much as her pregnancy allowed and hissed, "I already told everyone you were giving me the car. Do you know how embarrassing this makes me?" Apparently, she'd told her in-laws and friends I was gifting her my car as a surprise. Worse, she and Mom had planned her baby shower at my house without asking me. So on top of attempted theft, they expected me to host a party where I'd pretend to give her my car. I told Leela to tell everyone the truth, that I never agreed to this, and that the shower wasn't happening at my place. She started crying, shouting that I was ruining everything and making her look bad to her in-laws. She whined, "They'll think I'm a liar or that my family doesn't care about my baby." I said, "You lied, so that's on you." Mom, consoling Leela, glared at me and said, "Couldn't you just go along with it for her sake? We'll figure out the details later. She's pregnant and stressed. At least let her have the shower here." I refused, saying I wouldn't lie to guests or host an unapproved event. Dad honked the truck horn, yelling it was time to leave. He looked frustrated, maybe at me or the situation. Mom shot me a disgusted look, said, "We'll discuss this later," and guided the sobbing Leela to the truck. They left, thankfully, without my car. I stood in my driveway, fuming, watching them drive away. I was stunned they'd tried to steal my car at dawn with a trailer. Later, I got texts from extended family, as Leela spread a story that I'd yelled at her for asking about the car, leaving her, the poor pregnant sister, in tears. My parents backed her, saying I should support Leela during this tough time and that I was overreacting over just a car. To me, it's not just a car. It's my independence and security, especially with my unstable finances. I felt betrayed and furious, but with everyone calling me selfish, I started doubting myself. They acted like I didn't care about my niece, which isn't true. I just don't think I should give up my car. So am I wrong for refusing to give my pregnant sister my car because she claims to need it more? Update 1. Things escalated further. Thanks for the support on my original post. It helped me stay firm. Just days later, Leela stole my car, and I'm dealing with the consequences. After the trailer incident, I suspected they might try again, so I parked my car at a friend's house overnight. But I didn't anticipate every trick. Yesterday, Mom called, sounding remorseful, saying the trailer stunt was a mistake, and asking me to come to their house for a calm family talk. Wary but hoping to mend things, I foolishly agreed and drove my Corolla there that evening. Only Mom and Leela were home. Dad was working late. We had dinner, which was tense but civil, and I started to think this was a peace offering. After dinner, Mom asked me to help carry baby supplies from the garage to Leela's car. I agreed, thinking it was harmless. I grabbed a box and carried it out front. Then I heard my Corolla's engine start. I ran outside and saw Leela reversing out of the driveway. I shouted, chasing the car on foot, looking absurd. She didn't stop, rolling down the window to yell, "Thanks for coming around, sis. I knew you'd do the right thing." Then she sped off. I stood in their yard holding a box, stunned. Mom rushed out, saying, "This is for the best. We'll sort out payment, don't be upset." I yelled, "You tricked me, this is theft." She insisted they'd compensate me and did this for the baby's safety. I called it what it was, a crime, and said Leela wouldn't get away with it. Mom cried, begging me not to call the police, saying I shouldn't use words like theft about family. I ignored her, called an Uber home, and reported the car stolen, giving the police Leela's details and likely destination. I texted our family group chat, warning that I'd press charges if the car wasn't returned. No one replied. Leela, with Mom's help, stole my car. I'm furious and anxious, awaiting police updates. Update 2. The situation exploded further. Hours after my last update, a lot unfolded quickly. The police found my car that night, stopping Leela on the highway toward her home. She was arrested for auto theft. She claimed I'd given her the car, but with my name on the registration and my theft report, her story didn't hold up. They took her into custody. The police asked if I wanted to press charges, and I said yes. It was tough knowing my pregnant sister was arrested, but I had to follow through. They towed my car to an impound lot, and I could retrieve it the next day. Then the backlash hit. Mom called hysterical, screaming that I'd gotten my baby sister arrested. She cried, "How could you? She's pregnant. This stress could harm the baby." I told her Leela stole from me and I'd warned them of consequences. Mom begged me to tell the police it was a misunderstanding or drop the charges. I refused and hung up. Later, Leela called from jail. I answered, and she sobbed, begging for mercy for the baby's sake, then turned angry, calling me heartless and saying I was endangering my niece. I told her she should have considered consequences before stealing and hung up. I'm done with her manipulation. That night, Dad came to my house. I spoke to him through the screen door, refusing to let him in. He was calmer, saying he understood my anger, but that involving the police was excessive. He asked me to help get Leela out of this and avoid ruining her record, saying, "She's learned her lesson. You got the car back. Can't we move on for the baby?" I refused, asking why he didn't stop Leela's betrayal earlier. He had no answer, just said he wanted peace. I said it was too late and sent him away. The next morning, I retrieved my car from impound. It was undamaged, just dirty with low gas. Leela was laid out by her husband that day. Soon after, I got angry texts from her calling me a terrible sister and traitor, threatening I'd regret this. They seemed unlike her. Maybe her husband or a friend wrote them. I told my family communication must go through a lawyer or mediator, as I'm done with harassment. I gave the police my statement and will pursue charges. It's up to the prosecutor now. This is unbelievable. They forced my hand and Leela caused this. I'll update if anything major happens, but I hope this drama ends. At least I have my car back. Update 3, my family's audacity continues. Days after Leela's release on bail, they escalated again. Yesterday, Leela's husband, 26, and a friend I vaguely know showed up at my house. I should have ignored them, but I'm tired of cowering, so I met them on my porch, door shut. Her husband was polite at first, saying, "We need to end this chaos, it's stressing Leela and the baby." I agreed, but said it stops when they accept I'm keeping my car. He asked to talk it out, but I told him to say his piece. He repeated that things got out of hand, admitting Leela went too far, but saying she was desperate for the baby's safety. He asked for a compromise to ensure his wife and daughter have a reliable car, using the "for the baby" line again. I said it's not my job to provide their car. Many parents manage without stealing from family. I noted they could have asked to borrow money for a used car or use my car for appointments, but they chose demands and theft. The friend interrupted, saying, "What'll it take to settle this? Money, you could help them and profit." I was shocked this stranger was involved. Her husband nodded, offering $200 monthly payments for my car as if that was fair. "I don't want to sell my car, period." I said, "No way, I'm not selling, especially not for $200 a month." The friend got hostile, calling me selfish and saying $200 was generous for an older car. I told him to butt out or lend them his car. That silenced him briefly, but he was fuming. Her husband dropped his calm act, saying, "We're trying to resolve this peacefully and you're making it harder. You got her arrested. Haven't you punished her enough? We just want our baby safe. Why are you so obstinate?" I snapped. "You're calling me obstinate after stealing my car? I did what I had to do. If you wanted peace, you should have acted differently." I told them to leave my property. The friend stepped closer, saying, "If anything happens to that baby, it's your fault." I nearly lost it, but said, "No, it's on you for fueling this madness. Get off my porch." Her husband pulled him back, muttering, "Let's go," and they left, the friend calling me a selfish jerk as they walked away. I locked my door, watched them leave, and reported the harassment to the police non-emergency line for documentation. Against my better judgment, I told my parents. Mom scolded me for threatening to call the cops on my brother-in-law. I said I'm the one being harassed. Thankfully, Leela's bail conditions bar her from contacting me, so I only deal with her proxies. I'm exhausted. Leela's due date is weeks away, yet they're prolonging this feud they started. I've done all I can to protect myself. If they try more, I'll involve the authorities again. I hope they back off. Update 4, final update. 2 months after this began, my niece was born last week. I hoped it would bring closure, but Leela sent one last guilt trip. Mom emailed the family about the baby girl's birth, and I was maybe accidentally included. The email had a message from Leela aimed at me. "Dear sis, I hope you're satisfied. Your niece and I nearly died because you made me drive that junk car. The stress sent me into early labor, and my car broke down en route to the hospital. If my daughter had been hurt, it'd be your fault, but we're okay. I'll make sure she knows her aunt didn't care about us." I don't know if her story is true or exaggerated. Leela often wraps a bit of truth in drama. Maybe her car broke down, or maybe it's a lie to guilt me. Either way, it was the last straw. It proved she and Mom, who allowed it, will always blame me if I let them. I won't be their villain. I didn't reply. Instead, I confirmed with the police that Leela's charges are proceeding. I also told my parents, and Leela I'm going no contact for now, messaging them that I need space for my well-being and won't tolerate more harassment. I blocked them except maybe Dad. I'm still deciding, but he's on thin ice. Some relatives contacted me after hearing Leela's skewed version, portraying me as cruel. I clarified the truth, including the theft attempts, and it spread. Many relatives are now appalled at my parents and Leela, especially after learning about the trailer stunt. An aunt said she's disgusted by Leela's actions and supports my police report. It's a relief to have some allies who know the real story. I'm unsure about the legal case's outcome. I've provided all evidence, and it's with the prosecutors. With a newborn involved, they may go easy on Leela. I'm focusing on moving forward and not letting this define me.